Here are 10 things I've added to my game in 10 days. The most obvious and hard to miss update is that I've added night mode to the grass biome. I find that it gives a way better atmosphere and a scarier vibe. With the addition of campfire, the whole game now feels more like an adventure and less like a playground. What I imagine is that he's had to venture into the dangerous forest, risk his life to battle against dangerous, evil entities, and now he's back at nighttime to rest and heal before his next quest. This is heavily inspired by Elden Ring, where if you see a campfire, you feel hope and relief. It's a reward for the hard work that you've had to endure. I want my game to give the player this exact same feeling. A fun detail you might have noticed is that the light from the fire flickers like a real fire. The closer you approach the light, the brighter it illuminates you. And if you slice it, the fire slowly fades away and everything around you becomes dark. The second update I've made to the game is his attack animation. Instead of a little stick, he now has a massive sword. His sword now has an inward and an outward state. If you swing inward, his next attack will be a swing outward, and if you swing the sword outward, his next attack will be a swing inward, and so on and so forth. Also, if you turn around, the sword position will flip accordingly, making it super cool and super realistic. For the third update, I have to thank Lee Preston for giving me a kick in the butt to update the attack system. Now every time you slash something, there's a red spark, slow motion effect, and most important of all, a combo counter. If you slice something within 2 seconds of the previous attack, it will increment the hit combo counter. The idea is to see what's the highest hit combo everyone can get on a particular level. The fourth update is that the further away you are from an object, the less you can cut it. Big thanks to indiegame for this no-brainer suggestion. It will only cut exactly how much the raycast overlaps the object. If you want to deal more damage, you can't stand all the way back. You gotta face a danger and get close to the enemy. The fifth improvement is a tiny detail I've added to the sword. Can you notice it? It glows in the dark. His sword is a one-of-a-kind, legendary weapon. Deep into the game, I plan to have a quest where you can unlock the sword's full potential, but until then, it's just a little glow stick. The next update I want to talk about is that I've finally addressed the issue where you can slice objects from the other side of the wall. Previously, the raycast would penetrate through the wall and just apply the slice to everything. Now with the updates, when the raycast hits the wall, it will immediately stop checking any further, and it won't cut anything on the other side. I want to give a huge shout out to Wombo for the next updates. If you do a dash and slice something successfully, you get your dash back to use again. This opens the door for really cool chained dash attacks in the future. Imagine there are 10 enemies in front of you, and all you do is pss, and destroy them all in one go. I think that would be really cool. The 8th update is a little improvement to the piranha plants. I want to give a huge shout out to these 3 comments I got from YouTube. You can now unalive the piranha plants just by simply cutting off its stem. You don't have to focus on its head. Both of these does the job just fine. The next update is a newly added animation for the wall grip. When he's gripping onto the wall, you can now see his little hands holding onto his dear life. And he also leans slightly into the wall. Having this helps you know whether he's gripping onto the wall or not. If he's not, you'll know you'll have about 0.5 seconds before he starts to fall down. He's very nimble, so I want the player to feel like a ninja when playing this game. In the future, I want to incorporate some difficult but fun parkour challenges into my level design. I've also made it so that only specific walls can be gripped, not every wall. This makes level design a bit more interesting. Last but not least, the final update I've added to the game is his land and roll animation. I completely agree with Emerald Waffles. I felt like the animation before looked a bit strange and looked too much like Sonic the Hedgehog when he rolls. I've now made it slower and he doesn't shrink when he lands and rolls on the ground.